Is Captain Kurt the right choice for West Ham, as we're expected to have Kurt Zouma officially confirmed as West Ham's new club captain? My thoughts on that appointment is coming next, right here on West Ham Unofficial. Good afternoon to you, and welcome back to West Ham Unofficial. I hope you are well. Lunchtime show, just to talk about the news that, Kurt Zouma has been wearing the captain's armband for the first 4 games of the Premier League season. And Moyes confirmed in a press conference early on in the new season that he would officially confirm his choice for new club captain after the transfer window was concluded. That has now happened, and Kurt Zouma has remained with the armband. And most reports are suggesting that Kurt Zouma will become West Ham's new club captain, of course, after the departure of number 41. Vladimir Soufal came out in an interview and said Zouma's the right option for this role, and I find it hard to disagree with him. I think it's hard to grumble with a new captain coming in unbeaten in 4 games going into an international break. I think it's the right thing to do. We were all sat here all summer thinking who's the new captain going to be? Gerd, maybe Ward Prowse has come in, Jarrod Bowen, but not many people mentioned and suggested Kurt Zouma, and I think he's done a cracking job so far. We can't complain, can we, with the results we've had? And there does seem to be a sort of buzz back around that team again, and I think that could be the positivity of the voice and the leader that is Kurt Zouma in that dressing room. From social media clips that we see, interviews, and just overall looking at the way and his body language and everything about Kurt Zouma, he seems like a guy that's full of joy, happiness, and positivity, which potentially, dare I say, we couldn't have had at some points last year with a certain midfielder throwing his arms up in the air and with a bit of attitude on the pitch. It seems to be all a bit more cool, calm, and collected, and chilled out, which could not work, but at the moment I think it's working to perfection, and it does look like another sort of positive appointment from David Moyes, another right choice currently, and yeah, I'm happy with Kurt Zouma becoming manager, becoming captain of this football club, and of course, he's had a difficult time at West Ham because of the infamous video that materialised. But I think that's made him a better player. Not directly, don't get me wrong, but the criticism he got, and rightly so, because it's pathetic. But that's gone. It's 2 years ago now. We need to forget about that. Luton fans quite clearly hadn't the other day, but most people have forgotten about that now. It's well in the past, and I think it sort of gave him a bit of drive and a bit of go to become a better player, and I think he has. I think he's solely become a more rounded, better player in the last couple of years, and originally when we signed him from Chelsea, I was like, yeah, he wasn't starting for Chelsea every week. He could be a good player. I don't mind the signing for around 25 to 30 million pounds, which I think it was. And he's solid. He's a brick wall, isn't he? Barely anything gets past him. Just looking at his stats from Friday night's win over Luton, 91% pass accuracy, 10 clearances, 7 out of his 10 aerial duels he won, 3 interceptions, the most of any West Ham player on the pitch. Of course, he scored the goal from the corner as well, and he was dribbled past a huge 0 times in the 96 minutes of action at Kenilworth Road, and that's normality. That's not just a brilliant one-off performance from Kurt Zouma. We've had that consistency week in, week out. I can count the number of horrible mistakes Zouma has made on one hand. I can't even really remember one or two, to be honest with you. He's just consistent, he's solid, and he's a centre back. He's a manager's dream as a centre back. Does his job well, does nothing silly, and is a very, very effective player in this team. And rewarding him for his good efforts with the captain's armband, I don't think that's bad. I don't think that's negative. I think it's a good move from David Moyes. Let's take some of your comments. Usual suspect says Moyes' love child, Lingard, is wanted by a couple of Turkish teams, apparently. Yeah, and in Saudi Arabia, it's not like I've called it for weeks. Saudi Arabia come calling. He will be on the first flight over there. And now at midday, we announced our Europa League squad, which, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think we can now change. So Lingard won't be part of any European squad until the knockout stages. So the purpose of signing Lingard now is a little bit lost on me, because I was told by the people that really want Lingard that we'll play in Europe and all this, but he's not going to because he's not in the squad. That we now can't change until until after the group stages. So yeah, we've announced our squad. There's no major upsets in there. I think Divine Mubama's part of list B, which is the youth team squad, so that's good. So hopefully Divine Mubama can get some minutes in Europe as well, so there was no real surprise with that one. Zoo indeed, says Fathead. James says, afternoon Jake and all, a very enterprising choice from the Moyes. Usual suspect says Zouma absolutely purring as captain at the moment. He's been superb. He has been absolutely superb. Jacob, you now started sixth form. I'm starting college tomorrow, so this will be the last lunchtime show you'll see for a while from me. I start tomorrow, mate. TJ Legend, thank you very much indeed for joining me as well. So get your thoughts in. Are there any negative comments towards Zouma being announced club captain? I don't think so. I can't see a bad point to say about it. For his appearances at West Ham, he's made 68 appearances. He's played nearly 5,700 minutes in a West Ham shirt in the 2 years he's been at the club so far. Scored 4 goals. That will rapidly increase over the next season with James Ward-Prowse taking corners, as we've already seen. He's got 1 assist as well. Couple of yellow cards. And yeah, listen. Has he only got 2 yellow cards according to transfer market? That can't be right. That might be this season. That might just be this season. But as hugely, played in the Europa League as well. It's been a huge part of our European runs. Kurt Zouma. He's been a stalwart, ever-present figure in this team that we've become accustomed to now. And it does, fact says it feels like he's been around a lot longer than he has. I'll tell you what, I do agree with that. It feels like Kurt Zouma has been in more than 2 years. He joined in 2021, I think. So yeah, 2 years. I think he joined summer 2021. So it does feel like a hell of a lot longer, but I think that's just down to how effective and how often. And there's a big gap there when he's not there. If we're being honest, if it's Ogbonna and a Gerd, if we're just to make an example, it's a big difference when Kurt Zouma's not there. The amount of headers he wins, the interceptions, pushing us on the pitch, and now the sort of captain's tendencies that you've got to bring, the leadership skills that you can already see he's bringing to this team, I think personally are absolutely excellent. And there was talk about giving Naif Gerd the armband, but I mean, from what we've seen so far, I've been a little bit apprehensive about his performances so far. That was absolutely idiotic what he did against Chelsea. Could have seriously cost us that game, and I didn't think he drowned himself in loads of glory against Luton. I'd have much preferred if Ogbonna started. If my way currently, I'd have Ogbonna and Zouma starting, because I think they're the 2 best centre backs at this football club already. And with Mavropanos coming in, that could be. It's a plane going past. That could be another huge sort of another huge barrier for somebody. And I do hope it's not Ogbonna that falls down the pecking order, because I think he's better than Gerd currently. Zuma's the best centre back at this football club, followed by Ogbonna in my opinion. I don't know whether you agree, but I think Zouma and Ogbonna are the best 2, and Zouma is taking on a big role that I think at times last season probably halted and didn't help number 41's sort of progression, because I don't think he was too good last year, and he was given the captain's armband almost straight away. You're going to have it now. Noble's gone. There didn't seem to be too much discussion about it, and I don't think it helped him at all. Whereas with Zouma, you can tell he's taken the leadership, he's taken the responsibility. He's taken it really, really well, and he's taking it as a challenge, and that's the right option, and that's the right thing that we want to see. And hopefully his performances can continue to get better, and leading from the back and leading as the leader he is. Hopefully he can lead us to more silverware this year. You never know, but I think it's a bright future for this football club with Kurt Zouma as club captain. In my personal opinion, he has got an injury record, but hopefully that won't come up again to bite him on the backside. But that's the only real thing that's a little bit of a frustration on his game at the moment. He can do absolutely nothing about it, don't get me wrong, but it's a huge loss when Kurt Zouma gets injured. If he does his knee again like he has done a couple of times, he's out for 2 or 3 months. That's a huge hole that somebody's got to fill. Maybe it could be Mavropanos, but we've yet to see him in a West Ham shirt yet. But keeping Kurt Zouma fit, not only because he's the best centre back at the football club, but now because he's captain, I think he's absolutely crucial. And let's wrap him up in cotton wool, because he's a very good asset to this football club. One thing that we don't know, of course, this isn't officially official yet. We haven't had an article saying he's club captain, but I mean, one would assume he started all 4 games as captain. It would be daft, I think, for Moyes to give it to somebody else now. So we are all assuming that's what it's going to be. But one thing that we don't know, because official confirmation has yet to come, is who's vice captain. The first player that came to mind for me was Jarrod Bowen, but it will be interesting to see, because, as I said, Kurt Zouma does get injured quite often. I think he's had an injury in each of his seasons so far at West Ham. He's been on the sidelines for quite a considerable amount of that as well. So who will be vice captain? Who will step up if the unfortunate event of Kurt Zouma getting injured happens? Who would you want to be vice captain? Put that into the comments section. Charlie says we need to get Bowen down on a new contract. I 100% agree. That is a must, and hopefully that can be sorted very shortly. I've heard from sources that there seems to be a difference in money expected and money being offered at the moment, which is not a good sign. Give the man what he wants. He's already shown in the first 4 games this season how much of a key asset Jarrod Bowen is, who I think will be vice captain in this football club as well. How much of an asset he is. Give him what he wants. Give him 200 grand a week if he really wants it, and sign him down to a new long 5-year contract. Keep him at the club till 2027. Just pay the money. Let's do it. In my opinion. Leon says just tweaked Zouma purring. Good luck, college. Thank you very much indeed. Zach, hope you well, mate. He says a good thing about a girl is that he provides different defensive skills like pace, passing, etc. that Ogbonna isn't good at. Pace gets a Gerd out of a lot of dodgy holes. If he didn't have pace, then I don't think he'd be anywhere near this team, in my opinion. I think he's very, very sloppy. I think his passing at times has been under question as well. Some of the passes and some of the scenarios and situations he got himself in, even just at Luton on Friday night, was very dodgy. And overall, when I'm watching West Ham, this is my personal opinion, I feel more comfortable at this current moment in time with Angelo Ogbonna alongside Kurt Zouma. I think he's the more rounded player. I think just that bit of an experience told in the Premier League with a Gerd with lunging in for that stupid tackle to get him sent off. And I do hope he comes good, but he's had a rocky start. He's had a shaky start, and I'm the first person to say I want him to get back to some of the absolutely world-class performances he had last season. But at the moment, I'm just judging off what I've seen, and it hasn't been good reading, in my opinion. Leon says, I 100% have Zouma. Our last captain had his eye on the exit, unfortunately. That is the reality of it, of course, yeah. Leon also says, Bowen as vice captain. That would be the logical option, wouldn't it? That's who I'd pick. So, that's what I'd expect David Moyes to pick. James says, vice captain, King Souček or the Ogfather. Yeah, I mean, I suppose it could work with Ogbonna, because if Zuma's not there, the chances are Ogbonna is going to be there. So the game time thing wouldn't really matter. So that could work. Souček, is he going to get the game time? I mean, I discussed it on the Monday morning chat yesterday, and it sparked a lot of debate in the comment section. So go and watch the Monday morning chat from yesterday morning. It was interesting, where I spoke about Souček and how he's going to fit into this team, and many people had differing views on it. Go and have your say on that video. So a few people have got different perceptions to whether Souček is going to be part of the team week in, week out this season. But of course, that's all in Moyes' head, and Moyes will have to think that over and make an informed decision on that, to whether Souček is a good option. Is Bowen going to leave? I'd think not. Hopefully not. But we need to sign him down to a new contract. That is for sure. Choices. Do you think we will get through our Europe group? I do. I think the away games are going to be difficult. We're just going to need to grind out some results. At home, I'd back us to beat all three of these sides. That's not being arrogant, but I just think we can. We've got to have confidence in ourselves. And yeah, I do think we will get out the group one way or another. So there we go. That's just about me done. There's not a hell of a lot going on in the West Ham. Well, it's international break, of course. So we're having a bit of a break. We'll have a little look and pray that none of our starters get injured on international break. And of course, we return September the 16th with the title decider at the London Stadium. But yeah, that's it from me. Thank you very much indeed, everybody, for watching. Drop a like on the video and subscribe to West Ham Official if you are new. Captain Zouma, is he the right option? For me, I think so. That's it from me. Come on, you guys. Thanks to everybody watching in the chat, and we'll see you soon. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.